Congratulations to all of our graduates at the Colorado Mountain College Steamboat Springs campus. We're so proud of you. And I'm delighted and privileged to introduce to you today your keynote speaker. Kate Greenberg has a long track record and history of advocating for farming and ranching in the West. She currently considers Durango home, but she's now serving the entire state of Colorado as Commissioner of Agriculture. She is the first woman to hold that role. I suspect that our graduates at Steamboat Springs and our faculty will particularly enjoy Kate's message, given our programs at the campus that involve permaculture, sustainability studies, outdoor studies, beekeeping, and so many others. Please enjoy Kate Greenberg.
Hello, my name is Kate Greenberg, and I am the Colorado Commissioner of Agriculture. To President Hauser, the Board of Trustees, and distinguished faculty, thank you for the invitation to join you here today. To the parents and relatives celebrating your graduates, and to the Colorado Mountain College Steamboat Springs graduating class of 2020, I am truly honored by the opportunity to speak on this incredibly important and meaningful day in your lives. Graduates, regardless of how you made it here today, whether by the loving support of your families, your own sweat, or a combination thereof, congratulations. You have earned it. You are embarking into the world at an extraordinary moment. It is, of course, the outset of what might be the worst recession since the Great Depression, in the midst of a global pandemic that will, one way or another, reshape the world as we know it. I would not blame you if you are feeling fear or trepidation about what lies ahead. There is so much unknown. But I can tell you, the world is ready for you, and I am of a hopeful heart. Back in 2009, when I graduated from college, we were stepping into a world where the housing bubble had burst and unemployment was spiking. The Great Recession was not such a great time to graduate. One way or another, though, we got through it. For many, it was not without pain and not without struggle. But in times of strife and big change, also comes opportunity. When I graduated, I made my way to a small farm where I got paid $400 a month and borrowed a square of soggy land under a crabapple tree where I pitched my tent. It was there inside that 3 by 5 foot stretch of nylon that I slept, read, wrote, stared for hours at the ceiling, and learned to let go of the question of what I would do with my life. Of course, I could only live so meagerly because my family, my community, my schooling, and my nation had set me up to succeed no matter what. White, well off, with healthcare and no travel restrictions, I was provided a gentle path where I could follow my passions and see where they led. I envision the day when such privilege becomes the norm for everyone, when equity of opportunity has not to do with the zip code where you were born, but with the work and dedication you have put in. I hope we are all part of this work that will make that day a reality. That early time on the farm led me to everything that came after, all the things I could never have planned for. I had the joy of helping lead field schools, of running wild rivers with wild women, and of moving to Mexico, where I planted trees along the dried up Colorado River and hoped that one day politicians might allow water to return to the river's delta. Once I moved back to the States, I joined the ranks of the National Young Farmers Coalition. For 6 years, I had the joy of helping build a national movement of dedicated and fierce farmers and ranchers fighting for a better future, a movement I hope to help carry on in my current role. I never imagined I would get involved in politics, but all movements require it. You can't avoid it. As the saying goes, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. I imagine you are thinking a lot about work these days, about what you will do next and where it will lead you. As you think about this and make plans, don't overlook the importance of physical labor. Those of us who have the privilege of choosing how hard we put our bodies to work should get to know the rhythm, the dark early mornings, the aches and the dirty clothes of hard physical work. If this is the kind of work you have known your whole life, you are more prepared than most. This is rooted work, that will give you invaluable insight into how systems operate. Insight you will need to change any system that needs changing. It will serve you for the rest of your lives. But you, dear seniors, you have also been putting your minds to work these past many years. And what a gift. Own this too. It is a true treasure. Upheaval is a time for innovation. In this time of big change, you get to reimagine the future. You get to help build it. How will you bring more beauty into the world? How will you fight for the land and water and bugs and critters and all those who help steward them? How can you find ways for love to slay our hubris? However you do it, I hope it has something to do with breaking some rules. If our great-grandmothers had followed the rules 100 years ago, many of you and I would not have the chance to help choose our president this November. It's the 100th anniversary of the women's right to vote. And think about this, the women's suffrage movement persisted for nearly a century before the 19th Amendment was passed and later ratified, with its roots even deeper in time in the abolitionist movement. Imagine those early suffragists and abolitionists who never lived to see the fruits of their own fight. But of course, the 19th Amendment did not mark the end of that fight. For example, it took the Voting Rights Act of 1965 for African American women to have the same rights as white women under the Constitution. Still, they were blocked from voting by other weapons of voter suppression that persist today. In great social change, the torch must stay lit through generations. Our foremothers were not given permission, nor did they ask for it when they demanded equal rights. The same is true for you, dear seniors, in what you seek. There is no one to give you permission or to tell you you're ready. No one besides you. You are the only one you have been waiting for. And even then, you should not even wait for yourself. You'll find ways to tell yourself it's too soon, that you don't know enough yet. But the thing is, you are never fully ready for the thing you set out to do, if the thing you set out to do is, in fact, worth doing. Soon after Governor Polis won the election in November of 2018, he opened applications for his cabinet. After much arm twisting of various farmers in my network to get them to apply, and after much failing, I tossed my own name into the hat. Mind you, I had been farming and organizing for years, telling governments what to do, not trying to be the person on the other side. About 3 weeks after I applied, I got a call. Unknown number. I hung up. My phone rang again, same unknown number, and I hung up again. On the third call, I had had enough of the spam and blocked the number. 30 seconds later, the governor's chief of staff called me. Kate, it's Lisa. The governor's been trying to reach you. After I unblocked the governor and got on the phone, I had a little over a week to leave Young Farmers, move from Durango to Denver, and begin work on January 2nd, 2019, as Colorado's first female commissioner of agriculture. Do you think I was ready? You're moving dangerously close to the adult world. Be wary of people who tell you that you should be someone or that you should do something, or just as bad, that you can't do something or shouldn't be who you are. Those people have ossified. If I can leave you with one wish, it is that you fiercely protect the tender, playful human who still dwells inside you. Learn to love that human more each day. They need you, and you need them. That will become truer and truer throughout your life. And all who support your love, all those elders of imagination and generosity who forged the foundation you now stand upon, let yourself join them in this work that spans the generations as we go on building the future together. Loving, like fighting, takes courage. You don't need all the skills or knowledge, but you do need courage. And you've got courage inside you that needs you to keep tending to it. Despite how it might feel sometimes, you do not go at any of it alone. What I hope for you is a kind of courage that is tempered by humility, grounded in compassion, and fortified by the dynamism of perspective and the striving toward true understanding of others. In this kind of courage is where so much of hope rests. In her 2003 commencement address to students at UC Berkeley, writer Anne Lamott said, "Rest and laughter are the most spiritual and subversive acts of all." I love that. No one in the adult world will tell you that, save the poets. She went on to advise, rest, but pay attention. I am so excited for you to head off into the world, this world of beauty and wildly persistent uncertainty. There will be plenty of times when you don't know what to do with yourself. That's fine. Do something. Or perhaps do nothing. Maybe all you really need is to follow Anne Lamott's advice and take a nap. But when it comes to what to do with your life, stay awake. Where you put your attention matters. Try, whenever you can, to do something that serves others, that serves your community and the world. Something that takes courage. If you can't do that, keep trying, keep scheming, keep intuiting. The world needs you in ways you can't predict. You were robbed of a proper graduation, but you have the gift of education, and now the honor of entering the waiting world. Our characters form when things are hard. As you take your next step, wherever it may be, however it may appear to you, look for ways you can be of service and live full of wild courage. Class of 2020, I've brought my friends here today to reaffirm your strength, your nerve, your wisdom, and your open-mindedness as you move into the future. Congratulations and best of luck.